what's up, everybody?
Hey, what's up?
How's it
How you
going?
doing, Keith?
I'm good, brother.
I'm
Good. Doing good,
good.
man.
Me too.
Awesome.
Good.
Awesome. All right, sweet.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it. Um,
Anytime, man.
yeah. So,
Yeah, we've known each other for a while, right?
I believe so. Yeah, yeah. I mean, um, so basically, when I got on Facebook, from switching over to MySpace, I looked up people who, had an Ithaca association, and I thought we went to high school
Yeah.
because your name looked super familiar, dude. So I added you, and we interacted a little bit here and there on posts and whatnot. But it turns out we did
Yeah.
not go to high school together. So
No, we didn't.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know if we've ever actually met in real life, but we've definitely been internet friends for a pretty long
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah. A lot of those days back when I was living in Ithaca are kind of a blur. That was back in 2008 to 2012, right?
sure, yeah. And I was back home from 2009 until the beginning of 2010, so we could have run across each other back then, but man, I don't really know. I had a lot going on. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Me too.
so
Yeah.
it's possible, but
That's some good times, man. But thanks for having me. It's good to be back here
yeah,
talking to you again.
absolutely, man, absolutely. So for those of you who are listening, I am Keith. This is the Most Excellent Entertainment Podcast, and my guest this week is very cool musician, very creative guy, excellent drummer, a teacher, Mr. Jeff Tripoli. So welcome, even though I've already
Hey,
you. So yeah, man,
thanks
good to
for
have
having
you.
me.
No problem. Um, so yeah, I was listening to the new album. I mean, I want to get a little bit into your background too, but let's just jump right into what you're doing right now, because we got about a half hour or so, so we want to
Cool.
crunch it together. All right.
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah, so I was
Well, I
listening to
just put out a new record.
yeah.
New record called Natural Habitat. It's a psychedelic percussion record. So there's a lot of invented instruments on there, found sounds, field recordings, some experimental stuff. I believe it's my fourth release so far. Just came out in October, so really proud of that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about because I was listening to it and there are some very non-traditional sounds on there, man. Um, anybody who's like I have Planet Drum by Mickey Hart. That's like maybe my
Yeah, it's a good
favorite
one.
percussion album, but I mean that's all songs you hear,
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's really cool stuff. It's along the same lines as that. It's definitely got
yeah,
a world sort of vibe to it, world music kind of vibe. A
yeah.
lot of my inspirations, including Planet Drum, Mickey Hart, go back to other guys like John Bergamo.
Okay.
And John Bergamo was a professor at Cal Arts, and he studied with some Eastern tabla drummers and brought
Okay.
that back to the West back in the late 60s, really late 60s.
Yeah.
And from there, he started teaching at Cal Arts. He taught my mentor, Butch Norton, and
Okay.
that's how I found out about John Bergamo. So I took a lot of the John Bergamo. I think the album's called On the Edge. There's
Okay.
a lot of that. There's another group that Butch was in called Damaru, and another man named Ray McNamara. They sent me a cassette tape. That's how old it is, from like
Wow.
1995, I think. I have it right here.
Oh,
Yeah, this
that's
guy right here.
very cool.
It's
Very
called
cool.
Damaru.
Okay.
That might be backwards because of the camera, but
Yeah. I think it
uh,
works.
actually, I covered a song off the Damaru cassette called Afro Can't. So
Okay.
that's the one song on the record that is actually a drum cover, if you look at it that way. But I did it my own way.
Nice. Awesome. So what was it that kind of made you decide to use unconventional percussion? And what sort of instruments did you use on this album?
The reason I started doing this was to really, break out of the norm every day sort of thing. People tend to get into a rut, especially with drums. So it's tough to like break away from just the kick, snare, hi-hat thing.
Hmm.
And one rule I had when making this record was no drum set. So I put that one limitation on myself. These limitations are good for when you're trying to do something different from the other records. And with that, I got more into performing on different types of hand drums from different parts of the world. For instance, right up here on the wall, you see my 18-inch Irish Baron. I actually
Yeah.
used that more like Egyptian style in my lap, playing with my fingertips rather than traditional Irish bowron. They use what's called a tipper
Okay.
against the drum head. I've used some other stuff like my own inventions. I have what's called a wasabi hammer slide, which is basically a wooden shelf with some cans and wires strung across it, like a hammer slide. Is well, the hammer slide name comes from a hammer dulcimer crossed with like a lap steel guitar. So you get that kind of effect going on with a lot of like sliding a metal bar up and down the strings or playing it with mallets. Still keeping it percussive, but having melody kind of really takes a good place for like human voice kind of space in the music.
Mhm.
And I've done some other things like actually recording the birds in the backyard, the frogs down the street, that kind of stuff. Using things like friction mallets, which are basically like a wooden skewer that has a bouncy rubber ball at the end of it, and you drag that across a drum, and it sounds pretty cool. It's like a drone. And
Nice.
yeah, it's been fun. Just like using these inventions not only gives me my own identity, but it's really fun to do. It's like so unique and different. It's really just seeing how far I can get away with stuff is pretty interesting. That's what makes it
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah, and I mean the creativity of it and finding a way to like make this stuff fit into song structures is that's
Yeah, the key
very,
is to keep
very
it
cool.
musical,
Yeah.
not to just sort of go in without a purpose, but purpose, like, having a purpose to use a type of instrument for a voice rather than just trying to throw something in because you think it's fun,
Yeah.
which,
Yeah.
gets it so far. But when you want to be musical, that's what really makes the trick work because it's more like a soundtrack that people are going to listen to. And it's pretty meditative. The vibe of this record is really geared towards a lot of people that would be into like yoga or psychedelics or any kind of meditation. It's really good for clearing the mind, especially with a lot of music these days tends to be very AI orientated or using, grids like a click track and quantizing and stuff like that. There's none of that on this record, so it's completely natural, very organic.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I mean you can really
Thanks.
hear it, honestly. Like, yeah, I dig it,
Yeah,
dude.
you can
Um,
tell it different. It's a
yeah,
performance. It's moments captured.
100%. And I mean, I don't begrudge anyone what they have to do to make their music, but I
Yeah,
when I'm
yeah, I'm the
listening,
same way.
yeah, yeah, when I'm listening to something, you can tell the difference between a live drummer or live drums or live percussion and program drums. I mean, it's pretty clear most of the
Yeah.
time. So,
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that other stuff too. That all has its place, time and place. Wasn't for this record, might be for the next record though.
yeah, sure. Right on.
Yeah.
Um, so you have been a working musician essentially for over 30 years. Um,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah, that's
almost 33 years.
a long time, man. Um,
Yeah, I started when I was 10, so do the math, that's how old I am.
wow, wow. So I saw in your bio like you started playing out and stuff at 17. Were you actually playing out
Yeah.
when you were 10? Or, or
No, that's just the first time I picked
just
up
when you started?
sticks.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. So still, even like a working musician since you were 17, that's a long time, man. Um,
Yeah. It's a dedication. You got to really jump in, feet first and get your feet wet and see how it works for you for a couple of years. And then I decided to jump in head first by the time that I graduated out of high school.
yeah,
College didn't work out for me, so I
me
found
either.
a way to get on the road with some local bands, and just worked my way through about 12 or 15 years of playing in different bands, doing touring, learning how to book bands, learning how to work at a festival that my band was hosting, all the way, until I came back to Syracuse after my first daughter was born to be closer to family.
Sure.
And so at that time, I started playing with a new band called the Town Pants, who I
Mhm.
met through the whole scene down in Ithaca when I was playing the festivals. And
Yeah.
the Town Pants are a Celtic folk rock band from Vancouver. I've been playing with them for 10 years now. And we've got a record out called Something to Say, which is a 2018 release. And we still do touring. We just booked some shows for 2026. And so things have been leading up to that point. And during the pandemic, of course, things shut down. So I met and things started to really on my own experiments and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I want to make sure you're still good. We lost the connection for a second.
Still
Are
there?
you?
Did I lose you?
Yeah, for just a second.
Oh, there
When
you
you
are.
were, yeah, right when you got to the pandemic, when you
Yeah, I'm
said,
back. I'm here.
okay, awesome. Yeah, right when you said during the pandemic things shut
Yeah.
down, you froze for a second there. So what'd you say after that?
Yeah. Yeah. During the pandemic, things shut down. So that at that time, I reached out to some other people online and met up with my mentor, Butch Norton, and that started my whole percussive experimental adventure back in like 2021. So it's been 4 years now, leading up to
Very,
this moment.
very cool. And I heard the Town Pants. I didn't even know they were you or you played drums. WVBR. Sometimes, man, I get nostalgic for back home and I listen to the radio stations
Yeah.
online, and they were doing a little like local showcase, and they showcased the Town Pants that night and played like four or five of their songs or your guys' songs, I suppose. It was really, really good, man. I dug it a lot. So
Yeah. I've been playing with the Town Pants for about 10 years. Oops, sorry. Let me
no
fix
worries.
them. All right. Ah, okay. I'm gonna stop fussing with
Yeah, I think we're good.
it.
Oh man, yeah,
Yeah, man, I've been with the Town Pants for 10 years now,
yeah.
and it's been a crazy trip ever since then. We've been in a lot of places, down to Hawaii, up to Ireland, a lot up in Canada, out Texas, and good stuff, man. Those guys, I've known them for a long time.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
So you talked about how like when you were 17, you went got into bands and went out on the road. Like that's not the typical path of a local musician, or a someone who's not on like a label or whatever. Like you basically hit the road. How did you manage to make that happen? Like,
Well, I just started playing with people and playing with people that were really good songwriters and that were playing shows already that were
yeah,
really well established. I was a young kid, I didn't know anybody. So I started playing with some singer-songwriters in the area, started touring with them, learning a lot of the ropes of, just going through shows on a weekend all the way up to like 2 weeks out and just, learning how to live on the road with somebody else that you don't really have a relationship until you get deep with the person on the road, and then you really learn who the person is, and you can form really great relationships this way. And from there, it's just networking. I play a lot out at like open mics, and doing that when I was young was really beneficial because I would meet a lot of musicians, and eventually, things happen where one train leaves while another one comes into the station, and you jump trains and you start in a new band, and it's just one adventure after another.
nice, awesome. So
Luckily, I've been fortunate enough that I've been able to make somewhat of a meager living off of it, and keep myself employed just by touring and recording and teaching lessons, of course. And I'm now doing a video production for a couple projects at my buddy's studio called Mole Tracks here in Syracuse with Jeff Molesky.
okay.
So it's been working out. It's not just the touring that makes it sustainable. You have to do a lot of things, especially these days. The more that you can keep yourself up to date with how to use programs like, Pro Tools,
Mhm.
and video editing software. It gives you a leg up on being able to get your word out there and keep the message alive with the music. Making YouTube videos is really beneficial.
Yep.
And then, just being able to persevere in original music is not easy. You have to really jump in head first, stay dedicated through the good times and the bad, and
Definitely.
just keep it going.
Yeah, man. So we were talking about when the video stopped. I remember now you having a hand drum on your kit, and that was really interesting. So if you could talk about that again, because I want to make sure we get that whole piece.
Sure. For the town pants, I have a metal doomback, which is like an hourglass shaped Middle Eastern drum that people would play with their fingertips. But what I did is I took a regular tom mount for a drum set and a regular drum head that you'd use with sticks rather than your fingers, and I just mounted it on the drum set. It's really useful with the town pants because they do a lot of hand drumming oriented kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
it's just a good way to keep things interesting. Like I said, always innovating stuff to have its own personality or, completely take something in a different direction. I like a lot of other things like, using broken cymbals, putting,
Nice.
different jingles on the hi-hat stem. There's also other things called wave drums that have these BBs in it. And when you move it around, it sounds like waves. It makes a really cool snare drum too.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm like a traditional rock background, so I don't know. Like my drummers at the most do some jazz. So this is really cool, man.
I'm the
Um,
same. I started playing drums in '93 because of Nirvana.
yeah,
You know,
right. Dude. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's where I come from.
yeah.
Especially with this new guy I'm playing with, who isn't really new at all. Actually, it was the second band I was ever in was with this guy Dan Wagner. We were neighbors, grew up together, and now I'm playing with him again. Actually, as soon as I get off this podcast, I'm going to be going to practice with Dan and John Frechette. We're calling ourselves the Art Show, and it's a brand new project, so I can't talk about it. But we've got some good stuff coming up.
Very cool. Very
Yeah,
cool.
always staying
So,
busy.
this is kind of from a personal standpoint, and if you don't know him, all good. But do you, being in Syracuse, I have to ask, do you know Artie Lennon?
Oh, I know Artie Lennon very well.
He's my
Yeah, the
uncle.
Flash Cubes.
That's my uncle. Yeah, that's my uncle. So
That's yeah, no kidding. I know
yeah,
Gary Fournier very well as well.
sure, sure, sure. Awesome, dude. Yeah,
Yeah, those guys are legends here in Syracuse. I love
I
the Flash Cube.
know. Dude, I did not realize. I mean, his real name is kind of out there at this point, so I suppose
It's not
calling
Artie.
him Uncle Artie. So, but yeah, so Uncle Artie. I did not realize how famous he was until I got on the internet, and I'm just like, dude,
They've
people
been
love
around.
the Flash
Yeah,
Kids. Like it's so
yeah,
cool, man. Yeah,
yeah. They're one of the Syracuse classics around here. They're
yeah, dude.
still doing some stuff. I know that Artie is always he's
Yeah.
always stumbling around to some open mics coming in and just laying it down. He's a beautiful guitar player.
Oh
And
yeah.
Gary, I think he's still doing some stuff too. They've both got great voices, great songwriters. Flash
Yeah.
Cubes are really cool. Much
Yeah. I
respect
mean,
to Artie and Gary.
they
Yeah,
just put out an album this year, so
that's
yeah,
right.
they're still putting stuff out, man. I mean, it's
Yeah, good
and
for them.
and a record or a record company put out a freaking tribute album to them.
I didn't know that. Really?
Mint
Nice.
Twist and like some artists who I really dig. I was just like, holy crap, this is so crazy. So yeah, I mean,
They
it's
deserve it,
awesome.
man.
Yeah, for sure. How many Slammies have they or Sammys have they won? Good lord.
Slammies, nice.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I meant to say Sammys and it just yeah, wrestling and
Yeah, the Syracuse
Syracuse
Area Music
Awards.
Award.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they
Oh
won
man, I'm
20
sure they've got
games.
at least like four or five. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
man,
sure every year they get one.
yeah, it's pretty awesome, man. So very cool
Yeah,
that you know them. Tell them I said hey next time you see them.
I will.
I
I
appreciate
also am really
it.
good friends with Los Blancos,
Okay.
Colin Aberdeen, Steve Winston. Um, I'm also really good friends with Joel Kane, Steve and Joel. Um, they host the open mic at Shifty's down here in Syracuse, and Joel Kane and I have been playing together for quite some time too. He's a blues guy, great
Awesome.
guitar player. He's also a great singer and a great bass player. And my other cover band, Sons of Grunge, picked him up to play with us too.
Nice.
And yeah, we're doing like Nirvana, Mudhoney, Sonic Youth,
Fun.
um,
Fun.
all that stuff like Dinosaur Jr., Local H, Toadies.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've
All
got that
pretty
going on too. And then I've also got one other thing is the drummer from Driftwood, Sam Fishman, and I have been
okay.
working together for quite some time too. We have a percussion ensemble called the Mendings of Time. We just played our first live show at Bridge Street Theater out in Catskill, New York.
Sure,
And
sure.
we also did some recording at Wilburland.
Awesome.
There's a video of that too for both performances. So those are up on YouTube. You look up Mendings of Time,
Okay.
and that just about catches up to where I'm at now these days.
Yeah, dude, you are crazy busy, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I just got
Very
back
cool.
from LA too, out in Hollywood. I was visiting Butch Norton
Yeah.
for 4 days, and that was intense. We did a lot of visiting over at Remo with Roger Johnson. We stopped into class, hosts a YouTube channel called World Drum Club. I did an interview with him. Stopped into Soul Tone Cymbals to see Icky Levy. My buddy Terrence J at Acolyte Instruments. Bill Dedamore and Zach Dedamore, his son, over at Pork Pie. I got the
Yeah.
Pork Pie shirt on today. Where's the logo? I gotta show the logo for pork pie. There it is.
Right on. Oh, there
Pork
it
pie.
is. All right, sweet. Heck
Spent some
yeah.
time out there with Butch. We went out to the Baked Potatoes, saw Tom Scott and the LA Express with Gary Novak on drums. That was an
Yeah.
incredible experience. Of course, hanging out with Butch for 4 days was such a awesome experience. You know, just going into the Butch bunker, as he calls it, is his studio like what I have here, but mine's more of a laboratory, I guess, mad scientist laboratory.
Yeah. That is
Anyway, yeah, I've been pretty busy, man.
lot of
All
stuff.
coming.
Um, so you talked about making YouTube videos and keeping those out there. Um, I feel like, and I may be wrong, but I feel like Travis Barker really kind of blew that open. Like he was putting out these drum covers and solos and stuff, and people were just like, "Holy crap!" And then everybody kind of
Yeah.
starts doing the drum videos. What are your videos like? Like, do you do covers? Do you show technique, or is it a little bit of everything? Like,
My videos are more about um, there's a lot of practicing that goes unnoticed because I do a lot of different takes on one song. For instance, I'll do about six different times of groove on one song.
okay,
Another video could be very artistic, creative approach, using different instruments on the drum set. Like I said, different innovations, contraption kits, and stuff like that. Also, some drum covers. I have also a couple tutorial videos on stuff, but my stuff is more geared towards, featuring art and music rather than educational stuff.
okay,
I did do a masterclass video series for World Drum Club. If you go onto their Patreon, you can check that out.
awesome, man.
But a lot of it's just basically, featuring bands that I'm in, performances. My partner Justine and I, she helps me do the video production. So she and I have been doing that for a couple of years now, and it's getting to be pretty good. We just did some work filming Earl Slick, David Bowie's
Oh,
guitar player. We filmed him for 4 days over at Mole Tracks with the ripcords.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was pretty surreal. He's such a nice guy too. If he's
Nice,
watching,
nice.
what's up, Earl?
Phantom Rocker and Slick is one of the most underrated albums of the '80s. People need to
He's
pick that up if
incredible.
they haven't heard it. Yeah.
Yeah. Station to
Yes.
Station is one of my favorites from him.
Oh,
And
I
the
love
stuff he did with The Cure as well.
nice.
Yeah.
I love Men Without Shame, the single off that record. That's such a good song, man. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
that's three. I mean, Slim Jim Phantom, Lee Rocker, and Earl Slick are three very underrated musicians who just got together and made this killer freaking album that no one listened to. But
I
it's
listened to it.
awesome. Well, me and you, yeah, we listened to it. But yeah,
Yeah, man.
I feel like not enough people paid attention to that record, but it's really good. Um,
Yeah. Hopefully that'll change. I think people are going to get bored with the algorithms and start coming back to organic music.
yeah, yeah. So, dude, that makes me think about something else. You're not on Spotify, right? You are.
No,
You
not
have
anymore.
Apple Music, and Bandcamp, obviously. But
Yep.
was that a decision to leave Spotify,
Yes, it
or
was.
okay, awesome. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure,
Because that
man. I mean, where do I start? A lot of artists are getting ripped off because they're only getting paid a percentage of a penny per
yeah,
play
yeah,
from $1 billion company that's also making their billions off of what I've heard was ads for unnecessary means of government
hmm
that don't need to be displayed into my ears. And I don't think it's fair for the platforms to be advertising things that are discriminatory.
sure,
So, I just decided I don't want to be a part of that. And when I'm using platforms like Bandcamp and my own website, there's a lot more to be said for the control that I have over what my listeners are hearing, and also, in all honesty, the stream of finance coming in from it. I
hmm
make more
yeah,
money selling downloads than I do streams on Spotify, and then plus Spotify is going in a really bad direction with where they're, getting ads.
yeah.
So it didn't make sense to stay on.
Right on,
You know,
man. And I
yeah,
mean, I think I could be wrong, but it would be. I feel like um Bandcamp could be heading towards the direction of like an artist supported, or not an artist supported, but a company that supports artists and runs something similar to Spotify. A lot of people use
Right.
Bandcamp almost like they use Spotify now. So here's
Yeah.
hoping.
I use YouTube. I like YouTube. They may be doing the same kind of shady business behind the scenes as well, which I don't know about.
Yeah,
But YouTube is a lot more geared towards people being in control of the content and getting some sort of stream of finance coming from it if you're lucky enough to have that many viewers. But
yeah,
for me, ultimately, it's not about the money. It's about just getting it out to the people and getting
absolutely.
my music out there.
Yeah, my son is he's 11, and he started a YouTube channel a few years ago, just him and his buddy just goofing around, and he's getting really really good at it, and to watch his creativity grow from it, you
Yeah.
know, and like the way that he thinks about ideas and like what people want to see, like he really puts stuff together, and he basically does basketball edits now. That's like the whole channel, but it's very, very cool. And like he
Right.
spotlights players that he likes and he matches it up with the rhythms and creates fonts. And I'm just like, dude, this is so awesome. Help me. And he's like, it takes a lot of time, Dad.
I'm sure it does. But that's
Thanks,
great.
bud.
It's
Yeah.
so good for people, especially young people, to have something they can do that's creative output.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, that's very psychologically healing and, keeps kids busy, keeps them learning. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
if you're always learning, then that's part of the fun. So
Definitely. And I think
they
that's
keep at it.
that. I mean, I think he's rocking it right now. He gets like
Awesome.
3,000 views on average a short. So that's a lot for an
That's
11 year
good.
who's doing it by
Yeah.
himself. But yeah, um, but yeah, I think a lot of people don't think about that aspect of YouTube, how it can help with the creativity and stuff. People are just like, oh, there's all these brain rot videos or whatever.
Right.
But if you're not making that kind of content and you're really working hard on it, I mean, there's something to it creatively for sure.
Yeah. And even if you want to make brain rot material, you can do that too.
Yeah, someone will find it.
That's your thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, so I did want to talk to. I wanted to first of all thank you because you are
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for
creating.
having me.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I wanted to thank you for creating physical media because I am a
Oh,
huge
you're very
fan
welcome.
of CDs and holding
Yeah,
the stuff in my hand. You know, um,
right
it's
here.
awesome, brother. Yeah, and I hit you up about getting a CD. I'm still gonna buy one, dude. I just gotta shuffle the money around. Maybe it'll be a Christmas present for myself or something. Um,
There you go. It's a
yeah,
good Christmas present.
absolutely. And something that I think a lot of we talk about this all the time on the show, like almost anytime we have an independent musician on. Um, a lot of people don't necessarily think about is how much money goes back into the musician's pocket if you buy a CD or if you buy an album.
That's
Because
true.
yeah, I mean they're covering their production costs or whatever, but the rest of it, I mean there may be hosting if you're not selling it directly through yourself, but I mean either way, like you make more money off selling a CD than you do off streaming, even if you're making okay money off streaming. So
Yeah, you make nothing in streaming
yeah,
unless it's from your own website.
right.
I'm a member of ASCAP,
Okay,
so
cool.
anything that plays off my website, um, I get paid for it. And that's the thing is like to keep yourself in it as much as possible, to take on the responsibility as much as you can, to not
Yeah,
delegate to another platform that's gonna, pay you 0.003% of a penny per play. You
right,
know,
right. Yeah, and I mean I didn't
and then
want to
do the
get.
hustling yourself and hit the
Yeah.
streets and get the word out.
And I mean,
Do the
dude,
marketing.
that's how it used to be, man. People sold albums out of their trunk. You know what I mean? Like, so
Or
I
CDs.
yeah, I remember I saw the Cactus Brothers with the Aquarium Rescue Unit.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
yeah, and the
yeah.
Cactus Brothers were on Liberty at the time, right? Uh, but
I wouldn't know, but I remember Aquarium Rescue Unit.
yeah, well, the Cactus Brothers were like a country jam band. They played
Okay.
like traditional country with fiddles and stuff like that. They were really
Yep.
really good, but their singer passed away in between their first and second album. So
Oh, that's too bad.
yeah, but he was super cool.
Wow.
I met him after the show, and I was like, dude, you guys were so good. Do you have anything I can? take home, and they literally took me outside, cracked open an SUV or van or something, whatever they were driving in, and they had boxes of comic books and CDs in the back of it.
There you
And
go.
I bought one of each, and yeah, it was really cool. They had made their own comic book. Um,
That's cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
some of that's missing from music today. Not to be the old man, but I appreciate people who
I'm
keep
right
it.
there with you, man. I'm on the
Yeah,
porch too.
right on.
You kids.
Yeah, put out a CD and tour.
I have CD players for sale too.
Heck yeah, dude. Man, we're gonna have to do this again when we get a little bit more time because I feel
Yeah,
like
we should.
barely scratched the surface. But I know you've got to go and rehearse, so go make some rock
Keith, thank you
music.
so much for having me.
Of course, man. Let people know where they can find you real quick. Um,
Yeah, you just go to my website, jefftripolidrums.com. That's JEFFTRIPOLI drums.com.
Awesome, man. Dude, thank you so much for coming on. Next
Thank you.
week is Thanksgiving, so it's kind of hard to get guests. But I'm thinking about putting together a video just of like cool stuff that happened this year so far. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I think that'll be fun. No guests, just me. So if you want to hear me ramble for a little bit, tune into that. Um, Jeff, man, thank you again. Like I said, I feel like we just scratched the surface, especially with the technical difficulties. So we'll have to set
We'll
this
do
up.
this again. We'll do
Absolutely.
this again. And happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, man. Thank you so much for coming on. Next week, we've got Matt Valentino, who is a musician and a professional wrestler. So that's
Nice.
next week, beginning of December. So that's going to be super fun. And yeah, I want to thank Tyler Martin, my producer. Couldn't do this without him. Thank you again to Jeff. And
You're very
thanks
welcome.
to everybody who checks the show out. And we will see you next week with more Most Excellent Entertainment.